and this is basically a history of printing of the Holy Quran. Earlier people still used to make like write it on paper. There was no mass publishing at all. The first time it was ever published was in 1694, Christian era in Germany. And it's kind of amazing that the person who published it was not a Muslim. He was a non-Muslim. His name was Abraham Hinkelmann from Hamburg, Germany. And sometimes some people are just fascinated by Islam and they want to like do something good. They just do it. Even we have many people studying about Islam, non-Muslims, and some people just have curiosity. I want to know what it is, so they just published it. But that particular Mus'haf Quran had a lot of errors in it, because obviously if you're not a Muslim, if you're not Arab, if you don't have good knowledge in Arabic grammar, you're going to make a lot of grammatical mistakes. So that's what happened. It had a lot of mistakes. But somebody went ahead and tried to publish it. And then the first time Muslims published it was like 1787 in Russia, in St. Petersburg, Russia. And then a lot of other publishing happened. And in Turkey it happened, and in Egypt, in Cairo, about 120 years before now. It was the first time it was published there. And 1925 was when the main milestone happened in Egypt, when King, Fuad in Egypt, he was the one who ordered official copy. Now that became like a standard approved by scholars. So it's called standard printed version till now. So that was I think this was approved by the Sheikh called Sheikh Muhammad Ali Khalaf al-Husseini. Sheikh Muhammad Ali al-Khalaf al-Husseini. He was from Al-Azhar University. Now that became the biggest milestone in printing. And then you have the King Fahd printing complex. I want to talk a little bit about this because this is the one in Medina. This is the most common one. What we see here in shelves that you see in every masjid you go to, that's where this is published, King Fahd printing complex. By the way, this one that you see, where is this place? The big mushaf. You stand there, you probably be like, yeah, this is Saudi Arabia. This is King Fahd printing complex, by the way. If you go there, it's like a big place, a big Quran on the top. This is how it looks like, the King Fahd printing complex. The sign here. So just few things about King Fahd printing complex. This is in Saudi Arabia, in Medina. And how is it printed? Is it like a computer that prints it? It is actually first written by hand, letter for letter, everything. And you see this person who's writing it is very famous. His name is Uthman Taha. Uthman Taha. He's the one who writes it. He was hired like for a long time ago, and he still writes it. He's probably maybe in his 70s. He's a very old person, and he still writes it. So he writes like on a big piece of paper, and he does all the beautification, make sure everything is according to the rules of calligraphy. He is actually very well known throughout the world. He won a lot of awards in calligraphy in Arabic language. So he writes it like the whole page, and then it gets reviewed by whoever the committee is, and then this gets published into probably smaller or whatever size they want. But he writes each and every word, and he says that one mushaf takes 3 years to write. 3 years. Until now he wrote 10 mushafs. So probably he's just spent, subhanAllah, 30 years his life is just writing Quran. That's his job. So we read so much from him that we owe a lot to him, his hard work. But there are a lot of people working there, probably like 2,000 employees there, and this was started in 1985 during the time of King Fahd. That's why it's called King Fahd printing press, printing plant. And it's just not Arabic. They have different languages as well in translations. There are 55 different translations and 39 different languages, and they do 10 million copies every year. 10 million copies and distributed for free throughout the world. That's why it is kind of standard version, because everybody reads from it. It's the most popular. And can you believe it? Till now, in its history, it printed 150 million copies of Quran. Just this one printing complex. Do you know any book that is printed this much in the whole world? Any kind of book. Any book. 150 million. Not a single book of any religion. This is one specific complex. It's there in everybody's house. So that's...
They also print Warsh.
Yeah, they also started Warsh and Nafi Qiraat. So I mean, they started a lot of things. Now it's like becoming so popular and it's growing that it's printed for those people. And also the Indian subcontinent script that I said, Farsi script, they also started printing that one as well. So we have that as well. I think somebody has showed me. So this is basically the summary of what we said, how it evolved. So 12th Hijri year, the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Then 24th Hijri, that's when it was actually recompiled, and how it was the spelling of the words were decided, finalized. And then Tashkil was added. This should be 40th Hijra, not 60th Hijra, around 35, 40, that region. All dates are like approximate. And the Nuqad 80 Hijri, the 90 Hijri calligraphy, 170 Hijri year, simplification and beautification of Shadda and all those things. Qad Nastaliq, that's also a kind of script. It's not that common, but it was also very famous once upon a time. I didn't have a slide for it. But before we end, one more slide. There's just hadith that I wanted to share with you. So this is a Sahih hadith from Musannaf of Ibn Abi Shayba, where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that when you decorate your mosques or masjids and beautify your mushafs, then destruction will be upon you. So that is said by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ.
The beauty you're talking about, the printing is not that.
That's yeah.
The gold and all those.
Yeah, I mean it depends what you mean by decoration, right? I mean what I showed you, what these mushafs, they are like moderate decoration. It's not like excessive decoration. The problem is when the excessive decoration takes place. And you know, this kind of problem does happen today, that you know, for example, even for masjids, you know, people go into the masjid and they're like, subhanallah, look at those chandeliers, look at that carpet. So at the time they are praying, they're just looking, wow, that carpet design is very good. So all that kind of khushu is going away. People focus so much, they lose the quality of the thing. So that's why instead of, even for mushaf, instead of focusing on what is there, pondering on the meaning, people are just reading and they are probably like focusing on something really beautified thing in the mushaf. Maybe they have something, and the whole purpose is lost. That's why Prophet Muhammad said that stay away from it. But the time might come that when that happens, destruction will start.
It's already there. Gold letters in Russia.
Yeah, subhanallah. Again, yeah, gold letters, the brother said. It's, I mean, all that time when you read that kind of mushaf, will you fear Allah in your heart, or will you cry, or will you just focus, wow, I like that point of that ba? So
the guy made it for good reason.
yeah, the intention is good. You know, this brother, where I used to pray, he was so good in fundraising. I used to pray for him. You know, subhanallah, he does so much good work. He worked very hard, masjid to masjid, got a lot of money for the masjid, and then what I saw was a $30,000 chandelier in the masjid. So I was like very disappointed. Subhanallah, I mean, what can we say? Again, if we follow the hadith and Quran, inshallah we will be on the straight path. So that was what we had, inshallah. So next.
What do you mean by arrogance and charity?
So that's what scholars said, why it is a problem, that if you decorate something, this arrogance will come. People will start competing with each other. My masjid is better than yours. My masjid will have this much money instead of yours. My mushaf is better. That mushaf is like nothing. So the scholars actually, the actual scholars, they said mushaf Quran should be kept as much as pure as possible. That's how original should be. When you try to add things, it's not that pure anymore. So that's why they were against it. Even the Nuqat and the Tashkil, they were like, No, just stay away from it. Let's keep it pure and original. But since people have problems, they can't do it. They said, okay, this much is okay, that much is okay. So until this point, it is just okay. But if you like, even the color-coded tajweed rules, a lot of scholars have problem with it. Why you are adding all colorful things? But some scholars said it helps Muslims to recite exactly how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to write. So it is okay. So again, anything you add, people are gonna, scholars are gonna say, no, don't do that, don't do this. But wallahu a'lam. Yeah, make it simple, make it like original, pure.